Another thing that was not on my bingo card for 2025 is a guy elongating his key in order to insert a Minecraft block between a girl's legs. There you have it, folks. After 15 years, after 15 long years, Panty and Stocking, the beloved franchise, is finally back. Trigger managed to revive it and pull it from the grasp of Gynax, and the original crew finally is able to breathe it back to life. And you can all finally get the answer to what happened with Stocking and Panting at the end of the first season. Why the hell did she turn into a demon and chop up Panty? All that stuff has finally been answered. But yes, the first episode of new Panty and Stocking has finally been released, and I have to admit, I loved it. I actually really, really like this first episode, which I know some folks out there are probably really shocked right now, because those that know me know that I never finished the first season for 15 years as well. I just wasn't a massive fan of Panty and Stocking when it first came out. A lot of the humor, especially the dub, was just too edgy for me. I was out of that phase in my life, and I just really didn't care for it. Like, I enjoyed, going through all the South Park stuff and everything like that, but Panty and Stocking just didn't click for me. But yes, here recently, I did finally finish the original series, and yeah, my opinion didn't change. It's still like a show that I barely laughed at all watching the entire thing. But one thing I will give it is that the directing and the animation and the creativity and the absolutely bonkers mind these people have to make this thing still entertains me. I am still entertained by the original series. I just wasn't laughing at the original series, if that makes sense. But I have to say that even though it didn't work for me, I still enjoyed like the Paper Factory. I think that was just stupid as hell. I like the whole fight between the Demon Sisters and Panty and Stocking was just absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed Stocking's episode where she fell in love with the ghost. I thought that was really creative and kind of unsettling. But overall, like I said, the comedy just didn't really work for me. So I was kind of surprised, again, coming into this first episode of this new season. I'm like, wow, this is actually both entertaining and I'm actually laughing because the absurdity is kind of working now. And again, I don't know if it's because of the new polish, because it's all upgraded. It's actually high definition. The new visuals were really good. I like that little transition they did, by the way, transitioning from, watching briefers and then suddenly just kind of transitions into new quality. Maybe it's the new polish. Maybe it's the new sound. Maybe it's the new cast. I don't know what's actually working in it, but it's just working. And I'm loving it so far. So I'm really hopeful for the series going forward. I don't know if I'll cover it on a weekly basis, but yeah, I want to go back to, let's talk about the episode proper, for those that are here for that. I am kind of interested to know from folks that are longtime fans, like those that watched it back in 2010 or whatever, how mad were you at the final reveal about what happened with Stocking? I mean, it makes sense. This girl, she went to heaven. She's got to be an angel. Like, there's no way that she could be a demon. The worst that I thought possibly was that it wasn't actually Stocking, and it was somebody like doppelganger that was looking like Stocking. There was no way that it could fit with the logic of the world that she could be a demon, unless it turns out that, maybe their father happens to be a demon. Because we've seen the mother. We've seen the mother come down and step. We've seen her in her full glory. All of those thighs and legs in full glory. She has to be an angel. But I'm kind of curious if people are kind of angry at that kind of twist being so easily answered within the first few minutes of the episode. Oh, it was just brainwashing. Corset just brainwashed her. That's all it's been this entire time. And she went right into it. What do you say? They're so simple-minded and gullible, like angels are, that it's so easy to brainwash them. Like, he couldn't do that before. But yeah, just having that answer just could be dropped in the first few minutes. Like, oh, that's the only reason that she chopped up Panty. It's not really some crazy plot twist here. I mean, it's similar to the whole thing with Garterbelt at the end of the episode. Is he actually working for Hell? That actually makes more sense to me. Garterbelt at the very end of the episode, talking to the Lord of the Underworld or whatever, he's technically makes more sense to me. Mainly because Garterbelt, in the whole segment where they looked at his diary and talks about this crazy past that he had, if I remember correctly, it was only part one of his story or his diary, and it didn't really have a revelation moment. He has been getting messages from above, going through Chuck and everything, but it's not as if he ever speaks directly, and it's not as if it ever implied that he did accept the message that were coming down. Again, in his story, he kept getting messages and he kept rejecting them and rejecting them and rejecting them. And then he went through this long period of time of what he called a curse, where he's traveling through time and doesn't die. But it was a part one, it cuts off, but it never got to a point where he accepted the word of God. So it makes you wonder if, is he even working for God? I don't know. I guess technically it also kind of plays into the whole thing that happens with Panty at the end of the first season. It doesn't seem like he's really going with what they were supposed to be doing. He was trying to get Panty to, sleep with somebody, even though he was supposedly not supposed to. I don't know. That's kind of that weird area. But yeah, it makes more sense for Garterbelt to be working for the underworld. But Stocking not. Again, because it's already confirmed she's an angel. She went back up to heaven. She came back down, but she did. But yeah, anyways, back to my original point. I'm kind of curious if people are mad about how simple that was. But yeah, opening up the episode, I think it was a really good refresher for those that have not watched it for, again, 15 years at this point. Briefers going through everything's pretty simple stuff there. Getting all the way into the current time where we're going after all 666 parts of Panty and trying to get them all vacuumed up. The same time, Corset making Stocking go crazy, and she wants to... At some point, she starts eating all the buildings because they look like candy and snacks and starts just chomping on everything, but loses control of that very quickly. And then at some point, decide to have her open the gate. They get all the parts together. They open up a ritual on top of Stocking's head. And again, this is like a really good callback moment here where they put her back together and suddenly she's, of course, missing one part. And she turns into like this cute, shy moe moment. And Briefers can't accept it. He's like, no, she's not a bitch. She's supposed to be a bitch. She's not a bitch right now. Wait, I can't judge her like this. She's perfect the way she is. And then she grows big and huge. He's like, oh crap, I gotta accept that too. But no, that was really cute seeing her kind of shy. Again, very, very off to the usual. I mean, the only other case we really had her being much different was probably the whole Transformers episode. But I don't know if I want to count that. It was cute. I thought that her mode in that mode was just super cute. But yes, come to find out after she gets enlarged, she's missing a part. She's missing a part. That part got me. I lost it the moment they realized that she's Commando and there's just this big old gaping hole right there. I'm surprised they showed that much on Amazon. I just like, wow. Like even the slit for a brief moment there, I'm like, what? This is much. Okay, I like it. I like that this is a new age of anime and we're still not holding much back with Panty and Stocking. I know some people are making some comments about the fact that with the new type of Crunchyroll, they wouldn't accept Panty and Stocking. No, I think Amazon bought this up. And again, like I've stated before, there's a lot of cases of, I mean, a good example right now is the Fragrant Flower Blooms. It's an A1 Pictures project. It's through Cloverworks. A1 Pictures owns it. It's Sony. Sony owns Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is part of A1 Pictures. It's all one company, but somehow Netflix has that property. If somebody's willing to buy it, they're willing to sell it. It's not like it has to be on Crunchyroll's platform. So I can definitely see something like this. It's just really Amazon paid into it, and so Amazon got it. But yeah, there is a sort of side of me that's like conspiracy theory, like, man, is this because it was so risky that Amazon was the only one that was willing to release it? It's funny. I do feel for a lot of people that were the fans of the original dub, the English dub, that because it kind of changed businesses, it can't really have the same dub cast. But I think they did well. I do want to say that personally, again, this is personally, I feel like the dub script and everything was much better in this new one. And that's mainly because with the original series, they took a lot of liberties. And I personally don't like when dub scripts take a lot of liberties. They were adding a lot of language to it that just wasn't there originally. And it just sounded like it was forcing it too much. Whereas this one, I felt like it felt more natural. And if I can, jump back and forth between the English dub and the Japanese dub, and I can hear the language in there and it matches up, that's what I kind of appreciate more. Not trying too hard to make it sound edgelordy. Anyways, that aside, getting back to the puzzle piece that must be inserted into Panty. Friggin' Garterbelt out of nowhere is like, oh, let's just do this whole shrine carrying ritual with the... No, first we find out where the block is. We're short one. That's why she's acting that way. The moment it kind of cuts over to Chuck and he's shaped like a block, I'm like, oh my gosh, Chuck ate her. Chuck ate her. The dog ate it. I was like, I lost it. I lost it the moment I see that dog over there, and it's slowly getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, this is so wrong. And it busts open, and it's got that little line, and they're like, oh, it's super hot. It's her soul. All this crap. And then again, Garterbelt's like, let's just throw it and let's shrine run it. What's showing? And it gets the demons involved. The demon sisters just get dragged into it. They're all just running and setting on fire. I'm like, Corset jumps on top of it for some freaking reason. He wants to get involved. Everybody's setting up. It's just, again, that was, I think for me right there was the clicking point where I'm like, wow, I'm actually liking Panty and Stocking right now. Is this bad? I don't think so. But I think the major thing here is that it kept hitting. Like, from that point on, it kept hitting. Briefers goes over there. He shoots off his key, shoots the thing up in there. It inserts it. Like, magic happens. She transforms. It kicks up the music. The music's just bumping. And then he runs up on the thing. She does a little slide, turns it to the gun. She's going crazy. The music has drop points. It has pickup points with each of the motions. I'm like, it's working. Like, it's suddenly for me right now, it's clicking, and I'm not mad. It's suddenly clicking for me, and I'm not mad. I am absolutely loving this right now. It's just, again, it's just as absurd as the original series, but now it's just working for me so much more. And yes, I'm laughing because Minecraft blocks have been inserted. Minecraft blocks have been inserted. Man, I wonder how bad this is going to be to edit for YouTube. I'm trying so hard to make little insinuations. But yeah, them just, as usual, Panty and Stocking having a big, massive argument in the middle of the entire fight. They just hate each other's guts, all leading to possibly an apocalypse before they finally run out of steam and chill out. And finally wrapping everything up with them just kind of, I got a date. Oh, I got to go watch this movie. They just go to leave. The world's in rubble and destroyed, but we're just going to go off and do our own thing. But yeah, it kind of wraps up the episode with them bringing Knee Socks and Scanty into the picture. Garterbelt bringing them back to the church, which again, sort of that last scene kind of explains that. He probably was getting them on board because, again, it's technically his kin, or supposedly, the kin of his master. It seems to imply that Garterbelt's doing that. It could be a misdirection again. Again, the last episode of the last season, the big cliffhanger there was that Stocking was a demon. Is this another troll? They literally trolled us for 15 years. You can't say they'll troll us for a week. I wouldn't put it past them. Anyways, really good return for the series. Like I said, loved it a lot more than I did the original series. Hopefully people don't get mad at me for saying that. I know there's a lot of massive fans of the original series, and I think even me talking about the idea of the dub cast changing is probably going to upset some people, but I think for the most part, I enjoy the original dub Japanese more, but I think they did a really good job with this new English dub. I watched both of them. I watched it in Japanese and I watched it in English, and I think they did a good job on both ends. Obviously, the Japanese cast hasn't changed, but unless I missed something. But anyways, that's my thoughts on new Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know, do you like the new dub cast? Can you make sense of me liking the new one more than the last one? Do you like the upgrades? Do you think it still has that same flavor of the original series? Are you hating the fact that it's on Amazon? Let me know. But I appreciate you guys' support. If you like this content and you want to support channel more, hit the like button or become a member of the channel. Greatly appreciate you guys' support. Until next time, y'all take care.